Most people, when they think about starting a business, think about the same stuff. A shop, a food stall, an online store. Something they have already seen 100 times before. But businesses are sitting right in front of us every single day that almost nobody is building. And they are not complicated. They are not tech businesses. They do not need a massive team or a fancy office. They are experienced businesses. Physical spaces where people gather, spend money, have a good time, and return. Today I want to show you 5 of them. And I promise by the end of this video, you are going to start looking at empty rooftops and open spaces around you in a completely different way. So here is something that is happening in cities right now that most people do not know about. People are turning rooftops into sports arenas. Not massive stadiums. Just small compact spaces with some artificial turf, safety netting around the edges, and floodlights for nighttime. And people are booking them out every single evening to play cricket, football, volleyball, whatever fits the space. And the reason this works is pretty simple. Cities are getting more crowded. Open spaces are disappearing. Parks are packed. And the people who want to play sports after work, which is a lot of people, have nowhere to go. So they go to whoever gives them a space. You charge by the hour. Not by the month. By the hour. And the evening slots and weekend slots fill up fast, because that is when everyone actually has time to play. The money stacks up quickly. One court doing 6 bookings on a Friday evening is already a solid night. Add a couple of courts, and you are doing very well. And once it is set up, it basically runs itself. People book through an app. They show up. They play. They leave. You are not standing there watching every match. You can also make extra money running weekend corporate leagues where companies book your venue for team events, renting out equipment to people who show up without gear, putting a vending machine in the corner, the rooftop above a parking garage, the empty lot behind the shops, the unused terrace on a commercial building. These spaces are everywhere. Most people walk past them every day without a second thought. Picture a public swimming pool on a hot day. Crowded, noisy, long lines, strangers everywhere, changing rooms that you really do not want to spend too much time in. Now picture the opposite. A small, clean private pool. Quiet, well-maintained. You book it for 2 hours, and it is just you and your people. Nobody else. Which one would you pay for? Most people would pay for the second one without thinking twice. Especially families. Especially people celebrating something. Especially anyone who has had one too many bad experiences at a public pool. That is the business. You build or lease a small commercial pool, and you rent access to it. Monthly memberships for regulars. Day passes for people who just want to drop in. And private bookings for groups who want the whole space to themselves for a birthday party, a family gathering, or just a nice afternoon. The private bookings are where you make the most money per hour. A family paying $150 for 2 hours of exclusive access to a clean private pool is not unusual at all. That kind of customer exists in every city. You could also partner with swim coaches who want a clean professional space to teach lessons. They pay you to use the pool. Their students pay them. You make money from the space without doing the coaching yourself. Yes, this one costs more to set up than the others. The construction, the filtration, the safety rules you have to follow. It is a real investment. But that is also what makes it so good long term. It is hard to build, which means once you have it, very few people will bother competing with you. You basically own that market in your neighborhood for years. Okay, if you have not heard of paddle or pickleball yet, just know that you are going to hear a lot about them over the next few years. Paddle is like tennis, but on a smaller court with glass walls around it. Way easier to learn. Way more social. It has absolutely blown up across Europe and Latin America, and it is spreading fast everywhere else. Pickleball is even simpler. Small court, light paddle, slow ball. You can pick it up in about 20 minutes. It has become one of the most played sports in North America, and it is growing fast globally. Now here is the interesting part for anyone thinking about a business. Regular tennis courts are expensive to build and hard to fill. People need years to get good enough to enjoy tennis properly. So courts sit empty half the day. Paddle and pickleball are the opposite. People learn fast. They enjoy it immediately. They bring friends. Courts turn over quickly because games are short and fun. And you can fit 3 pickleball courts into the same space as 1 tennis court. 3 times the bookings from the same amount of land. You charge by the hour for groups of 4. You sell some equipment for beginners who need a racket. You run weekend tournaments that create buzz and bring in new players. You may open a small shop selling branded gear. The real opportunity here, though, is being first. In a lot of cities around the world, there is still not a single dedicated paddle or pickleball venue. The person who opens the first one becomes the go-to place for that sport in that city. That is a very strong position to be in. Check your city right now. Is there a paddle court near you? If the answer is no, that is your answer. This one is my personal favorite on the list because the startup cost is low and the experience you can create is genuinely special. Think about a warm evening outside. String lights. Comfortable chairs. Good food. And a big screen showing a great film under the open sky. That is not just a movie night. That is a memory. And people pay for memories in a way they never pay for ordinary things. The thing about regular cinemas is that they are fine, but they are also kind of forgettable. Same seats, same screen, same experience every single time. People today want something they can actually feel. Something worth talking about. Something worth sharing. An outdoor cinema does all of that. And the setup is not complicated or expensive. A good projector. A weather-resistant screen. A solid sound system. Comfortable outdoor seating. The whole thing is portable, which means you are not locked into one location, and you do not have to pay rent on a permanent space. The way you make real money with this is not by selling individual tickets. That is the slow way. The fastest way is private bookings. A couple wanting a special anniversary evening. A company wants a fun outdoor event for their team. A family that wants something memorable for a birthday. These customers will pay a flat fee for the whole venue, and that flat fee is much better than selling 30 individual tickets at a small price each. You add a food partner who handles the catering and you take a cut. You offer a photography package, so people leave with something to remember the night. And for big public events around holidays, you sell premium tickets at a price that reflects the whole experience. Test it first. Throw one event in a backyard or a local outdoor space. Charge a small amount. See how people respond. One good event is all the proof you need to know whether this works in your area. Okay, so think about the best gaming experience you have ever seen or heard about. A proper racing simulator with a real steering wheel and pedals, and a screen wrapping around you, making you feel like you are actually on a race track. Or a virtual reality setup that completely takes you out of the room you are standing in. Or a high-end gaming station with hardware that costs more than most people's laptops. Most people will never own any of this. Not because they do not want it. Because it is just too expensive for one person to buy for themselves. But they will absolutely pay $20 or $30 for an hour of using it. That is the whole business right there. You buy the equipment. You set up a clean, comfortable space. People come in, book a station, and spend an hour doing something they could never do at home. And then, they come back next week and bring their friends. The old version of this was the internet cafe. Dark room, old computers, Not exactly a great vibe. This is nothing like that. This is a proper social space. Bright and well designed. The kind of place you would actually want to spend time in. Racing simulators. VR bays. High-end console setups. The kind of hardware that makes people stop and say, wait, what is this? You make money from hourly station bookings. You run gaming tournaments on weekends with entry fees. You sell snacks and drinks because nobody wants to leave when they are in the middle of something good. And on weekday afternoons, you offer corporate team building sessions for companies that want something different. The automation side is what makes this manageable. Software handles the bookings, tracks time at each station, and takes payments. You do not need a big team. The system does most of the work. Look around your city. Is there a place where someone can walk in and spend an hour in a proper high-end racing simulator? Probably not. That gap is the business. Before I finish, let me just say one thing about how to approach any of these. Do not go big on day one. Every single one of these businesses can be started smaller than you think. 1 court. 1 small pool. 1 cinema night. A few simulator stations. Start small, prove people will pay, and then use their money to grow. The businesses that fail are the ones that spend everything before they have a single customer. The ones that succeed start lean, find their first 10 customers, and let those customers fund the next stage of growth. That is it. That is the whole strategy. 5 businesses. All of them physical. All of them are built around experiences people genuinely want. And all of them are sitting wide open in most cities around the world right now. A rooftop sports arena. A private pool. Paddle or pickleball courts. An outdoor cinema. And a gaming lounge. So which one fits your city? Drop it in the comments. I actually read them, and I want to know what you think works where you are. Hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.